Listen, obviously for legal reasons, I really can't talk about anything at this time. But I just more or less want to say to all the loyal listeners, thank you guys for your support and for your love. Listen, this is an extortion case. This is a shakedown. We won't be shaken down.
Isn't it strange how certain people can be accused of certain allegations, and because of legal reasons, they can't come out and explain certain things? Meanwhile, the general public will have the opposite expectations for certain individuals, expecting them to bypass the fact that if there are allegations, whether it's criminal or civil, they're going to have to play out in court, instead of people monopolizing and trying to manipulate information being put on social media platforms. And then you have those celebrities who we know all run in similar circles, who will pick and choose which topics they will speak on. Meanwhile, they could have the same position regardless of who it is, depending on what reaction they want to spawn from the public.
I'm with you, Brad. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah, they trying to tarnish their image for some reason.
Yeah.
I can't see Tiffany Haddish do. I can't even see Ari Spears doing something like this. They know what they have to lose. This is crazy. I hope that I'm right, that this is some crazy blogger with no life and just wants some attention, and this is going to go away, because this is absolutely insane. Why would they lose their careers and risk it all?
It's the hypocrisy for me, and how all these people have different reactions based on the relationships they have for individuals. And people didn't recognize when I said people being intentionally harassed and targeted for speaking their opinions about people like Robert Kelly is the main reason why a lot of people chose to be silent and watch things play out. But the hypocrisy for me is they don't have that same energy for everybody. Now, if they were silent when it comes to all accusations, I could see that position. Yet after you hear the allegations and then you go and view the things that are being alleged firsthand, it's certain things you're not going to be able to stand by and be quiet about, as I said in Robert Kelly's case, and how all these janky-ass people blew the case before it even started. Instead of pursuing justice as they claim they wanted, we see how they use these platforms for their advantage. The problem comes when we let our favorite voice takes us away from the talking point at hand. Like, take this situation. Even before they saw the videos that spawned all of this, why not take the time to talk about the issue at hand and how so many people, women specifically, are leaving their minors around sketchy individuals and or people they trust for them to be violated, which is something that goes on over and over again. And instead of learning from these situations, we're allowing certain individuals to exploit certain stories, even though we know it makes no sense. So in conclusion, the talking point a lot of people wanted to skip around that I made. I don't give a damn if it was a Robert Kelly or whom it may be. A lot of these people had no reason taking their minors into this industry if they weren't going to play an active role in supervising them. Yet the sad reality is so many people are willing to sacrifice their children, exploit their children, and nobody is pushing the issue for them to be prosecuted. The same way they would try to claim someone like Robert Kelly is trafficking girls, why don't they talk about how the industry as a whole is exploiting children, and specifically individuals who may can't read or may can't write with all these sketchy-ass contracts? But anywho, I think you see the message is the accountability is what gets me.
Y'all, Friday, we heard about the Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears allegations. And when I talked about it Friday, I was hoping that it wasn't true. It was just somebody trying to just, make things hard for Aries Spears after he dogged Lizzo, because we love Lizzo and we didn't appreciate what he said. So I felt like somebody was possibly digging up dirt on him. Well, unfortunately, I saw this tape. Did y'all see the video?
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was terrible. It was terrible. It was bad.
Not funny at all.
It was not funny at all. It was horrible. It was the worst. And I was like, oh my God.
As a comedian,
why?
Or whatever, like if somebody else wrote that and put that together, I'm not finna do that.
I'm not finna do that. And I do not condone any type of child endangerment, child pornography. This was disgusting.
Now that people have saw the video that everybody was talking about, and people have heard these attempts to dismiss it as extortion, now people are seeing just how disgusting it really is for these comedians to joke around with these real topics, and how so many women, as I spoke to the context of a few minutes ago, have left their children unattended by these creepy ass individuals, male or female. Is it surprising to you that Tiffany Haddish has come out and separated herself from even being present when this video was filmed? Is it ironic that it's going to appear that she's throwing Aries under the bus? What if people start putting their spin as to how Tiffany Haddish was this madam recruiting these children for all these entertainment pieces? Will the general public still get their kicks and giggles at the expense of how much detriment it causes us as a whole, and how systematically we're seeing Black comedians, Black entertainers, all these individuals being used as a scapegoat, when we've heard so many allegations around Hollywood, around these casting couches? The same way these charges hit Robert Kelly, it could be applied and manipulated when it comes to anybody. Even these women who like to actively go out and recruit these other people for their threesomes and other extracurricular activities. How is it fair to condemn one person because they have been unfairly targeted by a whole lot of extortion attempts, but then when it comes to other people, we just let them do their little settlements and let it go? Is it now going to be the new norm that when we get out of a relationship or situationship and we're not satisfied with how it ended, we're going to rewrite how things occurred in order to be a victim? So let me double back and make myself perfectly clear. It's just certain things that they put on these social media platforms and big broadcasting stations that I don't find entertaining or funny. So when some people want to have a selective outcry and pick and choose the things that they want to be offended by, and then want to come out here talking about what everybody knows, I'm just going to have to be the one to go against the grain to tell you why I say it's all bullshit. I mean, look at this. They can manipulate some janky ass shit like this, sell it to the public, tell you you're not supposed to see it, so because you never view it and you never see it for yourself, you're supposed to take the word of all these janky ass people that they put on these platforms, despite your common sense. And that's where they underestimated a person like me. Because you ain't gonna sit here and sell me no pile of shit and tell me it's some truffles when I'm looking dead at the shit. And you ain't gonna tell me no stories that I've read over and over and over by all of these career criminals as they selectively try to leave out the most key and important facts that let you know that everything we saw in Robert Kelly's case signaled extortion as the government tried to rewrite it, cover it up with a little chocolate, and patch it up like it's some truffles. Oh no, we saw that shit.
Lisa Van Allen took the stand. But as our Tara Molina reports, that witness wanted to be anywhere other than the courtroom.
Prosecutors disclosed Lisa Van Allen did not want to come back to court for cross-examination, and agents had to pick her up and bring her here. It's the very first thing Kelly's defense asked her about. She said that she's exhausted, and not wanting to come and not coming are very different things. It didn't cool down from there. Lisa Van Allen back on the stand for another emotional day in the R. Kelly trial. Shortly after addressing not wanting to come back a second day, Kelly's defense dove right in, asking Van Allen about a comment she made on testifying for Jane, the pivotal witness in this case, who testified to sexual abuse by Kelly starting when she was 14 years old. Van Allen and Jane both detailing a sex tape they're in with Kelly when Van Allen was 18 and believed Jane was 16 at the time. Kelly's defense asking Van Allen why she's here testifying for a person she admits she sexually abused. At that point, she broke down on the stand, sobbing. Van Allen said, "I'm not proud of that. I don't know what woman would be proud of that." Going on to say she's in court to admit her wrongdoings and hold Kelly accountable, and they're trying to make her the bad guy. Kelly's defense continuing to pick apart her testimony and what she's said on the record and under oath in the past. Remember, Van Allen testified in Kelly's 2008 trial in Cook County. The singer was acquitted. The defense making a few reveals in their line of questioning. When questioning Van Allen about the number of threesomes she had with Kelly, Van Allen was asked about a statement she made on feeling she owed them to Kelly because of sexual abuse he suffered as a child, something Van Allen said they bonded over. Also learning and questioning, Van Allen and Keith Morrell had an intimate relationship. Van Allen sent the sex tape of herself, Jane, and Kelly to Morrell to hold on to after taking it from Kelly, and the two were ultimately polygraphed and paid by Kelly and his team to get the tape back before the 2008 trial. Something we heard about from Keith Morrell himself when he was called as a witness here later this afternoon, detailing a call he got from Kelly's former business manager saying he knew he had that tape, and then talking about the deal that he made with Kelly and his team to return it.
Child pornography trial of singer R. Kelly, witness after witness identify those on that now infamous sex tape as the alleged victim and R. Kelly. SEAL TV's Randy Bellasoma was in the courtroom today, joins us now from 26th in California with more. Randy?
Sean, today, for the first time, we heard testimony that identified those on the tape from someone other than a relative, a friend, or a parent of a friend of the alleged victim. We heard from a former employee of R. Kelly who said at first she did not want to believe that it was him. Lindsay Perryman worked for Robert Kelly on and off from 1999 to 2006, doing everything from cleaning floors to handling the defendant's personal business. She told the court that included driving the alleged victim in the now infamous sex tape to and from his Olympia Fields home. She also testified to often seeing the girl at Kelly's recording studio, sometimes carrying a pillow and an overnight bag. The image that I saw looks exactly like Mr. Kelly, Perryman said, then IDing the female on the tape, citing her facial features and her cheekbones. During cross-examination, defense attorney Mark Martin inquired about Perryman's purported master's degree from a recording conservatory in Arizona, a degree she said took only months to acquire. I didn't go to Oxford or Harvard, no, Perryman replied. Also taking the stand was Jada Burnett, a family friend of the alleged victim. She said the female on the tape was about 12 or 13 at the time and noted her distinctive cheeks and facial structure. However, that's as far as she could go. Here's an exchange during cross-examination by defense attorney Sam Adam Jr. At some point, you'd have had to have seen her naked. You were so close, right? I've never seen her naked. 22-year-old Raven Gangler testified as well, saying the girl on the tape was her friend from junior high. She said that was something that was absolute and said the alleged victim was very proud of her relationship with R. Kelly.
Generation tape that was filled with all sorts of video noise where you couldn't identify, in my opinion, anybody. That's my view of the tape.
there's an idea out there that because he sat in that courtroom stoic and he didn't show emotion and he didn't show any kind of concern, and I heard that said about him, sitting next to him, because I did every day, if you recall, I sat next to him every day of this trial and listened to him and talked to him. He was a very caring and concerned person. He just knew that every move that he made was going to be criticized, every move that he made was going to be watched, every move that he made was going to certainly come out in a newspaper or on television, and so his way of dealing with it was to be stoic.
R. Kelly? Really? Really? Now, I gave him R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how he got R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how I got the emails between Azrael and R. Kelly. So you mean to tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about?
The article state that the other person was in trouble. It did not. It did not. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. You think we don't know? And I'm not saying that they can't pull no shit, but what I'm saying is I'm talking about the article at hand. There was a reason why the article didn't say what it said, and for people to make all these assumptions, and oh boy, to be a lawyer, you should know. If the feds got something, they ain't gonna announce it. They already got it. And if they gonna do something with it, they gonna do something with it. Ain't gonna be no reporter letting people know ahead of time what's going on. When you hear Fed investigation, everybody know that. Guess what? You hear after they made arrests, okay? You hear after